smoke mortar was a series of throwing weapons developed by the German army during World War II. Although the six-barreled rocket launcher in the Nebelwerfer is more famous, its range even includes a mortar version or is mounted on a car. These weapons were originally developed with the goal of being assigned to the Wehrmacht's Nebelwerfer units, German Nebeltruppen, the cover name given to the chemical corps. They were given their name. Nebelwerfer was actually a form of disinformation that was provided exclusively to Allied spies. Although a high-explosive bomb was originally developed for Nebelwerfer, it was initially used primarily to fire gas or smoke grenades. Within its thin walls, it can fire more gases, liquids, or ammunition than mortars or artillery guns at the same weight. With the exception of the Balkan campaign, the Nebelwerfer participated in all German campaigns. One of the Nebelwerfer was even converted to anti-aircraft use. The meaning of the smoke mortar was also used to mislead League observers who violated the Treaty of Versailles by preventing them from discovering that the weapon could fire bombs other than smoke grenades and even poison gas bombs. Although the actual use of the Nebelwerfer was as a chemical weapon projection, it was developed as a basis for the development of rocket technology. The low muzzle velocity of the mortar means that the shell does not require much strength, and the mortar shell of the same caliber can be thinner than the howitzer shell, and the shell can be filled with more material, which makes it an effective gas delivery tool. The U.S. Army's Chemical Corps chose to develop mortars as a tool for the Chemical Corps for the same reason, and the smokescreen unit agreed with this idea, so that the original smoke spitter designed in 1934 was not actually a rocket launcher, but a mortar. Almost from the outset, the Germans needed a much larger range of attack than the 10 cm 35 Nebelwerfer, but until May 1940, even the prototype was not built. The two prototypes that were built in the end were not entirely up to the mark, but their best features were incorporated into the 10 cm 40 Nebelwerfer. The 10 cm 40 Nebelwerfer is a rear-loading weapon with reduced recoil attached to a pair of inseparable wheels. It has a range of 6,000 meters, nearly twice as much as the 35 Nebelwerfer, but weighs 8 times as much and costs nearly 10 times as much, from 1,500 Reichsmarks to 14,000 Reichsmarks. The last model of the Nebelwerfer was the 30 cm 42 Nebelwerfer, produced in 1943. The 30 cm 42 Nebelwerfer were introduced to replace the 28 32nd cm 41 Nebelwerfer because they had too short a range. The Waffen-SS planned to imitate the Soviet Katyusha rocket launchers, and as a result, the 8 cm Nebelwerfer was born. Its tail-stabilized rocket is not only cheaper than the spin-stabilized of the usual Nebelwerfer, but also easier to manufacture than the spin-stabilized German design. In addition, 8 cm smoke emitters can use less expensive launch tracks. This also gave Germany access to a large number of captured Soviet rockets. The production line was independent of the other factories, and because the military was reluctant to repurpose the existing plants, only a very small number of manufactured products were produced throughout the war. The actual number of manufactured products is unknown, but as seen in the photographs, some were installed in the lightly armored version of the SDKFZ-4 armored vehicle and the captured French Somua MCG half-track.